Welcome back, everyone.
Hello, folks.
Another edition of Two Retards Arguing About Sports.
Yeah, first time in a couple months, eh?
Yeah, took
Hey.
another little hiatus there.
Yeah.
But we're back, ready to
yeah.
go. We're going to talk some football today, maybe a little baseball.
Talk some Ebola, too.
Talk some Ebola, sure.
Yep.
Ebola
What's your
kind
favorite
got
type
to that
of
point
Ebola?
where it was like, it was so talked about for a while that it was unfunny. But I think it's been, and there were so many jokes made about it, but I think it's been long enough now that Ebola is funny again.
I think I'm going to name my legitimate fantasy football team, Austin Has Ebola, or something along those lines.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be,
So what's your favorite type of Ebola?
I didn't realize there were types.
Yeah, there are. It's a pasta, so.
It's like a pasta?
Yeah, it sounds like a pasta, right?
What, Ebola?
Yeah.
I guess. Not really.
Not really? Oh.
I just think of it as the horrific disease. I have trouble getting that out of my memory to think
Yeah,
of.
they like bleed out their anuses. Anyway.
Tomato sauce.
So do we start with the NFL or?
We'll do our predictions.
Or baseball because we're so far through the season.
No, we'll end on baseball. We got a lot of football to do, so we'll get it out of the way here. A lot of predictions and such. We will start in the AFC East.
All right. What about it?
Who do you have winning the division at this point?
Who do I have winning the division at this point?
And at what record do you have?
It's tough to say right now because the whole Brady shit's still going on. But assuming he gets suspended for 4 games, how many of those 4 games are they going to win? Is the question.
That is the question.
I mean, last time Brady missed a game was 2007, I believe.
2011, I thought it was. Matt, was that the
2000? No, that wasn't 2011. That was 2000. They went 16-0 in 2007, so it was 2008.
2008, right?
It was the year after, and they went 11-5 that year. But I think they had a better team that year. I think they lost a lot of.
They had a much better team.
They had a much better team. So it's still hard to just pick against the Patriots. You know, they won that division every year since 2008, and they won the division every year from like 2000.
It is hard.
2001 to 2000. No, they were a wild card in 2001, I think. 2002 to 2000. Oh, they didn't make the playoffs in 2002. 2003, I think. 2003 to 2000. So they've only missed the playoffs once in the past 12 years.
And they were still 11-5 that year. They missed it.
Yeah.
Which is almost always good enough to make.
I think they've won the division every year, as well. Every one of those years they made the playoffs.
Right. That's the thing. It depends. At this point, they didn't settle, so it's either going to be 4 games or 0 games, depending on what the court settles at. So
I'd probably lean towards 4 in that case.
There's going to be a huge discrepancy in what the. I just went safe with the Patriots. I just said they'll be 10-6.
Yeah, I'd say 10-6 as well. That's what my mind was leaning for. But I say the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to move from the Patriots. I think I was predicting them going 9-7, so that's pretty close right there.
I had the Bills at 9-7 as well, but I didn't have either of those teams winning the division.
You have the Dolphins?
I had the Dolphins. I like this Dolphins.
Are you crazy?
Team. They got Ndamukong Suh. I think he's a huge difference maker. I think the Dolphins also, if you look at the start of their schedule, they could easily start the season 6-0. They got Washington, Jacksonville, Buffalo, the New York Jets, Tennessee, and Houston. They could start 6-0 theoretically.
Yeah, but they're playing the AFC South, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
So they're playing Houston and Tennessee, so they're playing the AFC South.
Playing the AFC
That means their whole division is going to play the AFC South, which is arguably like the second shittiest division in football.
It is
and
shitty.
All those teams are terrible except for Indianapolis. So, I guess I spoiled the South prediction.
I don't think the Texans are that terrible, but yeah, you're right. It's a shitty division.
So their whole division is going to be playing the same bad teams that you listed there.
You're right, but that's a 6. I think if they get started at 6-0 because they got 6 pretty easy games in a row.
What about their team do you like specifically, players? I know you mentioned Tannehill, but...
I didn't mention Tannehill, Kill. I mentioned Ndamukong Suh.
Yes, Sue. I apologize.
On the defense. They just signed him big. I think he is a huge difference maker on defense. I think he's going to take what was a good defense last year and make it a great defense. And I think Tannehill, I think he's a fine quarterback. I like Lamar Miller. They improved their offensive line a bit.
He's your quarterback.
Yeah. I think they have the ability to go 11-5, and I picked them for 11.
I'm predicting them 8-8. So
all right,
tough nubs.
Big
Patriots win the division 10-6. Bills in second.
And what do you have?
Talk about the Bills for a bit. I guess I could talk about them because I'm a Bills fanboy. I know we've mentioned on occasions, on a couple of occasions, your biggest qualm with them. I don't know if I'm using that.
Mm-hmm.
Your biggest concern, your biggest query is their lack of an O-line.
Yes.
And I don't mean they literally lack an O-line. I mean their O-line's just god-awful.
It's really bad.
And they're going to be a team that relies heavy on the running game, as we stated a lot, unless Rex Ryan's just, like, talking out of his ass here.
Unless Tyrod Taylor turns out to be, like, Matt Ryan or something.
But he's black, so you can't compare him to Matt Ryan. Compare him to another black quarterback.
Oh, right.
Michael
Too bad
Vick.
there aren't any good black quarterbacks.
Michael Vick was okay.
Yep, he could be like a Michael Vick. But even I don't know if I'd feel comfortable having Vick throw it all the time. Like, he can run.
Yeah, I know. You just have to... Cam Newton can throw, but he's not that great. He's good, but he's not
very accurate on... I don't know. All right. Well, either way, that's my biggest qualm. Last year, their running backs averaged 3.7 yards per carry, which was like 4th worst in the league.
Okay.
They didn't get any better.
Well, again, was it a dual threat of Jackson and Spiller like they had previously?
Yeah, but it's Bryce Brown. But
oh yeah, so yeah.
I mean, obviously it's going to go up because McCoy is better. But
also, I think they're going to be a team that we've discussed. If we want to bring up our fantasy leagues, we had a bidding war in one of them. It was a auction league over McCoy.
I wasn't in that.
You also suggested to me I pick up the Bills' defense, which is probably going to be their pride and joy for the next season. If they'll
win games on their defense.
Yeah.
They don't have Alonzo, but everything else about their defense, and they didn't have him last year either, and they were great. They'll be great again this year.
Yeah. What happened to the coach? Did he go to he was the defensive coordinator somewhere, I think now. I don't remember.
Patton,
assistant head coach.
He dropped out and to go somewhere else, and then no one signed him. He really fucked that one up. Yeah. I don't know where he is, but
it's like Chan Gailey or something.
The Bills coach?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Chan Gailey, I think.
Chan Gailey. All right.
Okay, so AFC South, the Colts. What record are you predicting?
Wait, who the old Bills coach? Doug Marrone was his name, I think.
Doug Marrone? Oh, was Chan Gailey there before him?
Maybe. Because Doug Marrone's been there a couple of years, and he dropped out.
Oh, Chan Gailey was their coach from 2010 to 2012.
Okay. So
they
got Rex Ryan now. What do you think Rex Ryan's going to do with this?
Rex Ryan? I'll talk about him more when we get to Coach of the Year. I don't want to spoil too much of it.
So, all right, yeah. So we both got the Bills at 9-7. We both got the Patriots at 10-6.
I said the Dolphins are 8-8.
I said 11-5. And what about the Jets?
Oh man.
Yeah.
The defense is good, but I mean, unlike the Bills, I see some hope on offense out of the Bills. I don't know what they can rely on a fucking Geno Smith with his jaw hanging off or something?
Yeah, the problem is I think they're going to go with Geno. I think they could do okay.
No, but he's not going to play the first 4 weeks of the season either.
I heard there was some surgery thing he might make it for the first game. But I think if they go with Fitzpatrick, they could be an okay team. I think Fitzpatrick, Brandon Marshall, and Eric Decker could be okay.
I just want to see, when do they play the Bills? When's the first game against the Bills? I want to see the guy like Anum Kampunko punched him in the jaw, and just completely clobber him. Just completely clobber him, like break his, like...
Those will be the only 2 games that he plays all year, I guess.
Tear his legs in half or something, like a legal tackle. And then just he gets thrown out of the game, and fucking Rex Ryan just gives him a high five or something.
Boy. Do you think Percy Harvin's going to be able to do anything for him, or do you think he's kind of a lost cause at this point?
Percy Harvin? Yeah. I don't think he's been relevant in several years.
Yeah, he's still special. Like, he can do cool things.
Eric Decker's okay, but he was only, again, very excellent in the Denver's offense. Put up special type numbers, I guess, because it was Peyton Manning.
He had Geno throwing to him, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say that they're 5-11, Jets.
Right. Percy Harvin, though, is on the Bills now, I was talking about. But, yes. Yeah,
why did you bring up Percy Harvin? I'm confused.
Huh?
Why did you bring him up?
I was trying to fill time while you looked at that thing.
Yeah, but I was just mentioning Eric Decker as another shitty wide receiver who mentioned it.
Yeah, I think with Fitzpatrick, he could do... Fitzpatrick had a couple okay games with Houston last year.
And he'll probably start, like, as you said, if the surgery comes out, maybe 2 games, so.
Yeah.
He also has Marshall there, but I mean, again, another... He's kind of old now, so...
But he still puts up numbers. He had, 1,000 yards last year with Cutler?
I don't remember.
So
it wasn't a spectacular season, but it's hard to be spectacular in those offenses he's been involved.
Let's move to the AFC North.
The North before the South.
Yes.
Okay, this is probably the most interesting division, I would say. 3 of these teams can make the playoffs.
I agree.
I know you were all a Browns fan.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not in on them this year unless they go Johnny Manziel. Then
he's like fucking was in rehab. He's like the Josh Hamilton.
They got not Josh Hamilton, Josh McCown.
No, he's like the Josh Hamilton of football.
Oh, right.
You know, Josh Hamilton was like
he has
strung on cocaine, and he was like amazing talent, and then he rehabbed and started to do well.
Yeah, I think I agree. Let's start with the Browns, though, since the other 3 will be more interesting.
They've fallen from our expectations from last year. I don't think we mentioned them at all because we didn't do any preseason stuff last year. I think we started doing the podcast in February or January.
Right.
And the Browns, we didn't really mention much of them on the podcast, but like on our private messages, we were very high on them, or at least you were very high on them. I like their playoff chances. I think you picked them to either win the division or make it far.
No, I picked them as a wild card.
Wild card.
And they were not a wild card though. What did they finish? 7-9 or something? Wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to perform that well this year.
No, I have 6-10. I think the defense will still be good. I think their defense will still be good, but Josh McCown's throwing the football, and I don't believe too much in Isaiah Crowell.
If you're all right with like the 25th ranked passing offense, get Josh McCown as your offense. He's not going to bring anything spectacular. He's not going to throw a million picks either, though.
He did last year, throwing to Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson. He was terrible last year, throwing to 2 really good receivers, and he doesn't have 2 really good receivers.
But again, just like the Browns, they had no running game. So I mean, there's nothing for him to rely on. Who did they have? They had Doug Martin, who was bullshit again.
Right. Yeah,
he had no one else to rely on. I think he had a couple of years in Oakland where he had some semblance of a running game where McFadden was all right.
Right.
McFadden was horrible.
And he was good on the Bears when he had Forte.
Yeah, but he's someone who could just put up like 25th ranked passing offense numbers and not throw a lot of picks, but you can't put the entire offense on him.
You think there's going to be 7 teams with a worse passing offense than the Browns this year?
No, I'm just saying, if you want the 25th ranked passing offense, get Josh McCown. I think they're going to be closer to 29th, honestly. That's where I put them.
You're probably right.
I mean, like, if you're any team, like the fucking, trying to think of a good example, the Texans are on the 25th ranked passing offense.
Right.
Get Josh McCown. They have a decent running game. They have a very good defense.
Or Brian Hoyer. Yeah, I agree. I think we both, we don't expect anything from him this year.
Okay, now the next 3 are interesting.
Very interesting.
Who do you want to start with?
Let's start with the Bengals.
Okay, I think they're heartbroken again after last season. Hopefully it doesn't carry over with them.
Well, it hasn't for 4 years.
They lose in the first round of the playoffs every fucking year.
Yeah, and I have actually predicted that the same thing will happen this year.
But I do have the playoffs and lose in the first round.
Yes, I do have them winning their division though. I still think they're a good regular season team, and they got a good roster.
Dalton's been in the playoffs every year. He's been in the league, which got drafted the same year as who was in his draft class? Cam Newton.
I think it was Luck, or maybe it was Newton. You're right. I think it was Newton.
Newton was the year after Luck, right?
Newton was the year before Luck. I think Luck was 2012, Newton was 2011.
Yeah. And he's made the playoffs every year, which is 11, 12, 13, 14, 4 years, and has lost in the first round every year.
And I don't see why we can't make it 5. Why not?
Yeah.
So I have the Bengals winning the division. I think they didn't lose much. They're still a good team, and that's why I have them at 11-5. I think they're going to be good.
I think they're going to come in second in the division. I have them at 10-6, tied with the Ravens at 10-6.
10-6.
So I have the Ravens actually winning the division.
At 10-6, all right. That is. I only have them at 8-8. They lost a couple pieces to their team.
I really like Forsett. I think he's
Forsett's good.
I think he's gonna come alive this year. Yeah.
But they don't have a deep threat anymore that they did in Torrey Smith.
He wasn't utilized much at the beginning of the season. That's because they were trying out different backs after the Ray Rice thing.
But they don't have Torrey Smith, who was a great deep threat last year. He could draw pass interference penalties from Flacco beautifully. All they really have left is Steve Smith in the passing game. And I don't know if that's going to get it done for Flacco.
Yeah, but they were never a team that relied so heavily on their passing game. I know there was a couple of years when Flacco had like 4,000 yards and had a bunch of attempts, but it has to be decent. I think it's decent enough to carry them. I think they've always been a team that relies on their defense and their running game.
But it's not like they have a great defense either. They got rid of Haloti Ngata. It's not a great defense anymore. They're getting older, and I have them at 8-8. I still think they have the next year in them, so I have them at 10-6. So the Steelers. I have the Steelers at 7-9. Jesus, really? I have 9-7. I think their defense is horrible, and I think their offense is unbelievable. I don't think their offense is unbelievable. It was one of the best last year. Very good offense. It was one of the best last year. It was a top 5 offense last year. Why would that be any different? I said I think it's a very good offense, one of the tops in the AFC, but I don't think it's unbelievable that it'll be able to carry them. No, I think they lost too many key defensive components, and I'm still not completely on board about that offense. I don't know. I don't think it's strong enough to carry a team. I think last year might have been somewhat flukish, considering there was a couple of games where there were Ben Roethlisberger threw like 500 yards and like artificially inflated his passing numbers, like 3 games or something. You can't. That's like saying, oh, if you took away all their wins, they would have gone on. They wouldn't have really. It's just these couple, like that one year, Doug Martin had an incredible year. The first like 4 games, he rushed for like 180 yards per game or something. Then he fell off to 80 yards per game, and he never did well again. So he did fine in the other games, though. That was. It's a similar situation, I think. I don't think so. I think Antonio Brown might be the best receiver
Yeah, I think
in the
Antonio
game.
Brown's great. I think he's a little overrated. He's great.
I don't think he's overrated. He's shown nothing to show that. He's just put up numbers year after year. He's crazy fast. I think Roethlisberger is great. I think Le'Veon Bell might be the best running back in the game after
Yeah, I
the
agree. I
suspension.
think he's the best running back in the NFC.
Right. So yeah, I have them at 9 and 7.
I have them at 7-9. And that offense is very good, but I don't think it's good enough to compensate for what the team's lacking. And I think it's not going to be as good as it was last year, and that's the reason why they made the playoffs. And with just their defense getting worse, I mean, how can you
But it
predict
can't
them?
get any worse. Like
They did lose a couple of key veterans.
They lost old dudes. They lost old dudes who were old and shit, and now they got young dudes who are young and shit. At least they won't fucking lose guys in a foot.
Hey, don't talk shit about Palomalu, you asshole.
They pretty much asked him to retire, so they won't have to release him. Is what happened.
Maybe you're right.
So the AFC South now.
Yes, sir.
We touched on it already. We both have the Colts.
You want to just mention the Colts and that's it?
I do want to talk about the Texans and the Titans, actually, at least.
Not the Jaguars. Just forget it. There's only 31 teams in the NFL.
They added some people, but they're 5-11 all written all over.
The Jaguars?
Yeah.
I said they're 4-12.
All right. So the Colts. Yeah, they're in a shit division. I wanted to go 13-3, but I scaled back because they do have a first place schedule. So I went 12-4.
I'm saying 14-2.
Jesus Christ! You know they play. Which division do you guys play this year? Which division?
The East, the AFC East.
AFC East. So you got the Patriots. You'll also have
the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins.
Bills, Jets, Dolphins. You'll also have the Steelers and Broncos because of the first place schedule. Who do you have in the NFC?
The South, which is the easiest
Oh, that's
division.
a really easy division. I didn't realize how easy your schedule is. You could go 14-3.
And then we have the Patriots with Brady, though. But I don't think the Broncos are going to be as good this year. So I'll go through the schedule and say the wins. I think we'll beat the Bills, we'll beat the Jets, we'll beat the Jaguars, we'll beat the Texans. The Patriots game is good. That's a game I think we could lose. So assuming we lose that, that will be a 6 or 5-1 start. Then the Saints, Panthers win 7-1. I think we'll beat the Broncos 8-1. Falcons win 9-1. Buccaneers 10-1. Steelers is a win. I don't like the Steelers 11-1. Jaguars 12-1. Texans 13-1. Dolphins we could lose. Say we lose that 13-2, and then Titans 14-2.
That is actually a really easy schedule. I've now changed from 12-4 to 13-3.
Okay. I'm saying 14-2.
And I think that's fair, actually, just based on that schedule. I do think the Broncos will be.
I said there's only like 3 or 4 teams there that we possibly can lose to, honestly. Maybe the Texans once. So worst case scenario, we lose 5 games.
Lose to like the Bills or something.
There's like the
funky in there.
Well, I don't think we'll lose to the Bills week 1, but the Patriots we could lose to. The Broncos, maybe. I don't think we'll lose to them. I think we have a better chance. No. The Steelers, you're saying that we could lose to them. The Dolphins, maybe.
I mean, you lost to them last year in that shootout, didn't you?
To who?
Didn't you lose to the Steelers last year in that shootout?
Yeah, that was a crazy game. It was like 48 to like 47 or something.
No defense, all offense, both teams. But yeah, I
but
like
the Colts have gotten better.
I think adding Frank Gore is unbelievable.
It was 34-51. Steelers won.
Yeah, I think adding Frank Gore is unbelievable. I think adding Andre Johnson just gives Luck another toy. So the offense will be fine. The question will just be the defense. And I think your secondary's okay, and your running game is what you're going to have.
I don't think our defense has gotten any worse, and I think we picked up a couple of good defensive players in the 3rd and 4th rounds. I think we got a couple of good, mostly in the secondary, I believe, but
you can't count on that to improve it. So
we didn't have a 2nd-round pick. We had 2 3rd-round picks. I remember.
And you took Philip Dorsett with your first round.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but I mean, I didn't feel like we needed a wide receiver, but I'll take it. I don't know how he's going to do.
Let's talk about the Texans then.
All right.
Another team of You know what? On paper, it's not even a great defense, but literally Watt is so good
It's just Watt.
that he makes them a good defense.
So do you want to talk about the defensive player of the year right now, or I guess he is the reigning one.
That's an easy for me. I'm gonna pick Watt every year for the next 10 years. I think. Like,
yeah, I'll probably pick him too.
Unless something.
But
happens.
I'm saying they're gonna be 7-9.
I had 8-8. You know, I don't like Brian Hoyer at all. Obviously. I like Hopkins. Foster's out. I forgot about the Foster injury. That's gonna fuck him.
How long is he out for?
I don't know. I think 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, I got him on one of my fantasy teams as a backup on a running back in the auction. I paid like $7 for him. Like, why is he so cheap? Oh, that's why.
Yeah, I think the Texans will be. I think 8-8. Watt will carry them. Watt will get at least 3 of those wins. I think maybe 4. Especially.
I said 7-9, and that's with them playing the NFC South. So.
Right. And the Titans.
Well, they're tight. 12 as well.
What'd you have them, sir? Your mic's cutting out.
5-11 actually. It changed it.
I had 6-10. I like Mariota. They don't have anything else, but I do like Mariota. So I'll give him 6.
I think he's going to be okay. I don't know if it's going to be rookie of the year material, but he's going to be better than Winston, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But I guess we can talk about that later when we do the rookie of the year discussion. So on to the West, I guess.
Yep. Let's talk about the Broncos, because Manning last year, first half of the season seemed good as normal, and then just a huge decline that second half of the season. Might have been an injury, something like that. They got beat pretty bad by the Colts in the playoffs. So
I wouldn't say it was pretty. They didn't get stomped, but
but it felt like, wow,
a convincing victory, I guess. I didn't think the Colts were going to win that game. Speaking of which,
you could tell something was up with Peyton. So, do you think he'll come back this year? He'll make a good comeback?
Well, I think he had a good year last year. I don't think anything was that horrible about his year last year. But
what I said about last year, he started off good as normal, and then
but I mean overall, if you just look at his stats collectively,
but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how he had a huge decline in the second half of the season.
It wasn't enormous. Yeah, it was big
pretty big
for him.
Look at his game
log.
Like
horrible numbers.
Look at his game log.
I think he'll do fine. I think he'll put up 30 touchdowns, 17 interceptions or something. That's not that bad. 32 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. That's something you could just expect out of Peyton Manning.
Typical Manning year, though.
He's not going to throw like 27 interceptions, 20 touchdowns or something like Eli does some year. He's not going to do that. 4
weeks of the season last year, he threw 3 touchdowns to 6 interceptions.
Okay, cool. I don't think he's gonna throw more than 17 interceptions, which is a lot.
I think it was an injury, and I think he'll be healthy, and I think he's gonna have a huge bounce back year, and have a great season.
I think he's gonna be good, but I don't think he's gonna be good enough for them to win the division.
I think he is. I have them at 13-3.
Really?
I really like the.
I have them at 10-6.
All right, that's a big discrepancy. I like them. I like Manning. I like what's going to happen. I like it. I like the team. I think they're going to have a big year.
All right, that's fair. I have the Chargers at 10-6 as well.
I have Chargers at 8-8.
Winning the division.
Wow, I have 8-8. It's just the same old Chargers. They'll be 8-8 or 9-7, something there.
I think they're going to be a little better.
I think the division got a little better, so I think I dropped them to 8-8 instead of 9.
Yeah, I think that's a very good division. The Raiders got better. The Raiders improved. I think.
Raiders definitely improved.
I'm actually going to put them the Raiders at 8-8.
I have them 7-9, but yeah, I agree. They got a lot better.
I'm third in the division. The Raiders actually.
I have them last still, but 7-9. I think they'll be good. I'd like Amari Cooper.
I have the Chiefs at 7-9.
I have them at 8-8.
Okay, so Raiders and Chiefs are switched, and then I have the Broncos and Chargers at 2-6.
Right. So
you're a Chargers fanboy. That's
let's go to the playoffs. We'll do the AFC playoffs, and then we'll do all of the NFC and shit.
All right, so let's seat these teams.
Yes, I have the Broncos 1, Colts 2, Bengals 3, Dolphins 4, Patriots 5, Bills 6.
I'm gonna have the Colts 1, Patriots 2, Baltimore 3, San Diego 4, the Broncos 5, and the Bengals 6.
All right.
What is
I
yours
had the
again?
Bills and Steelers tied,
Do you
but
want
I
to
decided
repeat
to
it?
pick the Bills
I wasn't
because
really
they're more.
listening.
What?
What? Do you want to repeat your seat order? I wasn't really.
Sure. Broncos 1, Colts 2, Bengals 3, Dolphins 4, Patriots 5, Bills 6.
Okay. I don't have the Bills making the playoff. That's something sad, but they're 9-7, and the rest of the teams were 10-6. So. Cool beans. Okay, so do you want to go through the playoff tree?
Sure. The wild card round, I have the Patriots against the Bengals and the Dolphins against the Bills, with the Patriots and Dolphins winning.
Okay, I have the Ravens versus the Bengals. I have the Ravens winning. And I have the Chargers versus the Broncos. What?
We both have the Bengals losing in the first round again.
Yeah, of course. And then the Chargers versus the Broncos, which I have the Broncos winning.
Okay.
So then we have I have Broncos versus Colts.
Right. You have the Colts winning?
I have Ravens versus Pats. Oh, man, what a surprise.
Last year. It's just a repeat of last year.
I didn't even realize that would happen. Jesus, that's crazy.
And which teams do you have winning?
I have the Colts.
Yeah.
And I have the Patriots.
So, same exact thing as last year.
I guess it's a little different to get there, you know.
I have the the Broncos beating the Patriots and the Colts beating the Dolphins.
Okay, so rematch for you, well, divisional at least. Mine was like all a rematch.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you have winning that Colts Broncos game?
I got the Broncos, man. I'm telling you, I'm high on the Broncos this year.
I have the Colts beating the Patriots.
You got the Colts going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well,
That'll
I mean,
hello?
Conference
Your mic's cutting out.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, are we good now?
Yeah.
The Colts made the conference championship and lost last year. They made the divisional and lost the year before. They lost for the year before, so it only makes sense for them to lose the Super Bowl this year.
Logical progression. Makes sense.
Baby steps with Andrew Luck. It's only the Super Bowl. It's not a big deal. So.
Right.
Okay.
So let's move on to the NFC then. We got the
Colts
representing the
AFC.
AFC.
Fucking podcast talking about the AFC.
Yeah.
All right, the NFC. You good?
Yeah. Let's start it with the East.
The beasts of the East. Okay, there's another interesting division. I think this is tied as interesting as the North in the AFC.
Yeah,
I do not really know who's going to win this one.
I don't think the Redskins will. Redskins are to me the only. No.
Yeah, same. They're like the Browns of the East, and I had them coming in last at 6-10.
I had the same thing. I think their defensive is improved, but that whole team is just a mess. So yeah.
Okay, now this is interesting. The Giants consistently solid team.
Yep, I like
solid offense, solid defense. The Eagles could be a disaster.
Yeah, could be.
And the Cowboys, who won the division last year, I would say lost their star player, but
lost some pieces on defense. They lost some pieces on defense too.
Yeah, I know, but they're still. I mean, last year they were Super Bowl contenders, so
they'll be a good offense.
Yeah, I don't. They took a regress slightly from last year. I'd say. I don't know if maybe a little more than slightly.
I gave the Cowboys 9-7.
9-7.
9-7.
I have the Cowboys also 9-7.
Okay. And the Giants, what do you have?
The Giants have an 8-8.
I have the same thing, 8-8. And the Eagles?
9-7.
I had 10-6 for the Eagles.
Wow.
I believe in Chip Kelly. I believe in Sam Bradford. I believe in Kiko Alonso. I believe in this team, and I want Chip Kelly to revolutionize the game. And so this is an optimism pick, but I like it.
It's like your Browns pick of last year. It's not going to pay off. I have them at 9-7. I do not have them winning the division. I have the Cowboys winning the division.
I do have the Eagles winning it. So we'll move on.
What about their team do you like the most?
In that division?
Do you like the Murray pickup or?
Oh, what pickup? I like that Chip Kelly has the offense that he wants. I don't care what it is.
You mean a bunch of old Duck players that used to be on the Ducks?
Yeah, yes. I like that because I want to believe in Chip, and I like that he had total control and he did some crazy shit, and he's good for the NFL. So I just want it to work out.
So you don't know if it's going to work.
No idea. I have no idea. Bradford's looked good in the preseason. They've looked great, the Eagles.
So it's less of a prediction and more of a, I hope this happens.
But just because I have no idea where the prediction, I have no idea how to predict this team. So I'm just going to go with what I want to happen.
Okay, fair.
All right, the NFC North.
They have the reigning National League, the reigning NFC champion.
No, they don't.
Packers. Yeah, Packers won the NFC last year. Oh wait.
Why you gotta do this to me? I just said nice.
Because that was the most fucking hilarious thing ever.
Shut up! No, I don't want to be reminded.
They won that game. How did they end up losing that game? I still just I'm in awe on how they lost that.
I don't.
Do you know?
I have no idea. I don't know. Mike McCarthy was retarded.
And he's still your coach?
Brian Bostic was retarded. At least McCarthy's not calling plays anymore.
I think I picked them to win the NFC last year. During our predictions, and I was kind of upset after they lost because I was I wanted my predictions to be right, you know. So I actually did have the Packers and the Pats in the Super Bowl, I think.
Wow.
And
do you have the Packers winning the division?
Huh?
Do you have the Packers winning the division?
Yeah.
Yeah, me
too. Of course I do.
11-5.
And 3.
You have what?
I'm at 13-3.
Wow. I wanted to give them the big push this year, but that Jordy Nelson injury kills us. It really does. Because I don't know how many Packers games you watched last year, but our biggest threat, and it happened once to twice a game typically, was just a bomb to Jordy Nelson, who always got open. And those huge plays were a big part of our offense, and they're gone.
How long is he out for?
The whole season. He tore his ACL.
ACL?
Yeah.
That's what I figured. Well, I don't think he's worth two. Do you think he's worth fucking 2 whole games?
No, but I would have had him at 12-4.
All right.
And I think he's
a good player. I still think they're the best team in the NFC. Second best. My apologies. Second best team in the NFL.
I agree.
I agree. What?
I agree. Second best in the NFC. Do you like the Vikings this year?
The steps they towards progress, and I think they're going to finish second in the division. Yes, 9-7.
I had the same record.
Teddy Bridgewater.
I like Teddy Bridgewater. I like the team.
I do too. I think he's the best QB from the class. Carr might have a breakout season. We didn't really discuss the Raiders a whole much. I had him at 8-8, but Carr might have a breakout season because he's surrounded by a couple more weapons. But right now, looks like Bridgewater won that QB class, as you stated earlier. So.
Yeah, I agree. So I agree. I think they'll have a good defense this year. I think
wasn't Bridgewater good. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
They got Adrian Peterson back. That's a big deal. He could be really good for them. So yeah.
Wasn't Bridgewater projected to go number 1 or something for a while?
Yeah, and then he had a terrible pro day, I think, and fell to the end of the first.
Oh. Yeah, he fell to the very last pick, I think. Or the 30th pick or something.
Something like that.
I think they traded with the Patriots to get him, I remember.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that too. So yeah, I think we both think they'll be good. The Lions. You got the Lions up.
How can one day dictate 30 spots on a draft? It's kind of ridiculous.
It is. Stupid.
One day.
Yeah.
If you mess up, there goes $10 million or whatever.
Yeah, very weird.
Okay, who the
Lions.
Lions?
Yeah.
Who the Lions at 7-9?
I agree. I think losing
They're the
Sue and
Lions.
Fairley. They lost Sue and Fairley. I think that's huge.
They wouldn't have made the playoffs with them anyway. So I mean,
They might have. Those are two really good players.
nah.
What do you mean, nah?
They're not going to turn the Lions.
The Lions made the
Up team, I
playoffs
know.
last year. What do you mean turn the Lions into? They don't have to turn them into anything. They were already a playoff
Oh,
team.
I forgot. I completely forgot because they did so horrible in the postseason.
No, they
Yes,
would have
you're
won
correct.
if it weren't for that pass interference call against the Cowboys. Remember? They
No,
picked
I
up the pass
completely forget
interference
this game.
flag.
Was this game like really high scoring?
No.
Okay, I don't remember this game. I don't know if I watched it.
The Lions got out to a good lead. Cowboys started slowly chipping away, but the Lions were going down.
Oh
were-
yeah. I remember that. You're
Yeah.
right. But I mean, they didn't make the playoffs the year before. The year before that, and they had a similar team.
They
I
did,
mean,
but they got
minus
Golden
the
Tate,
Calvin
who was
Johnson
great last
injury
year.
and stuff. What?
But they'll have Calvin Johnson the whole season this year. But I still don't.
Yeah, I
think.
know, but they had the same team last year as they had like a couple years before. I think a lot of that making the playoffs might have just been a lucky year, you know? I
Their
don't think
defense was
they were
way
a
better,
playoff
though.
caliber team.
Their rushing defense was unbelievable last year, and that wasn't an accident.
Yeah, but I think their rushing defense was unbelievable for several years because of the.
But it wasn't unbelievable. Last year was the first year it was unbelievable. It was good, but last year was the first year it was unbelievable.
Yeah, so it won't be unbelievable without those guys. I
Without
guess I
them,
agree
no,
with you
of
there.
course. We both agree. I just think with them, they're a good team, but they don't have them. And the Bears, I have at 6-10
Yeah, I agree. So we're pretty much in agreement
on most.
about that division, minus the Packers who are having 2 more wins.
Right. NFC South.
And I don't know if the Bears are worth talking about.
No.
Especially not to you. Okay. The South.
Yes.
Yes?
The Buccaneers. I have them at 2-14.
2-14?
I don't
oh,
like their
Lord,
team.
you really hate.
I don't like Jameis Winston. I think they'll be shit.
I think they're going to be 5-11
All right.
in the last division.
I think Mike
Do you
Evans
really
is
hate
good.
Jameis Winston that much that you're giving them less? Weren't they 2-14?
I just think he's going to throw a lot of interceptions. They were something like that, 2-14, 3-13, something like that. I don't think he's much better than Glennon / McKellen.
Glennon?
Yeah.
Benched halfway through the season?
I think he's got more potential, so they'll stick with him. But I don't know.
You know someone who we neglected to talk about, who I think might have the MVP caliber season
Who?
this year? Blake Bortles.
He's looked good in the preseason. But you know who else looked good in the preseason every year? Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert is the greatest preseason quarterback of all time.
Whose bright idea was it to draft a guy named Blake Bortles?
I don't know.
It just the name reeks of failure.
He was drafted 3rd overall. 3rd.
Who, Blake Bortles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. It was the stupidest thing ever. They're like, oh, we're not going to start him. We're not going to start him at all this year. It's just work him as a backup behind
Chad Henne. And then he started the 3rd week or something? You there?
Like 4 games or something?
Yeah.
So he started 4 games. Henne started 4 games.
Something like that.
And he started, and he was pretty dreadful. But I don't really have high hopes for this Bortles guy.
No, me neither.
Still fun to say his name.
Yes. So, back to the Bucs. I like Mike Evans, but that's about it.
Mike Evans. Do you like V-Jax?
Yeah, but not. He's not like oh my god, Vincent Jackson. Yeah.
They've always had a good receiving core. But
yeah,
no one throws them.
No. The Saints. What do you got for the Saints?
The Saints, I have it 8th. I have them at 6-10.
I have 9 and 7. I think they'll.
Really? I think they're worse than last year.
No, they
Good deal.
added.
They lost their biggest offensive weapon.
Just Jimmy Graham, but they got Max
Any
Unger.
offense.
They got Max Unger, who's arguably as valuable.
Ooh, Max Unger, center.
I think you
Who's he
overrate
gonna
Jimmy
fucking
Graham.
block for if they have no one to pass to, and they have like
They have Brandon Cooks.
subpar running game? What?
They have Brandon Cooks. Mark Ingram was great last year. Ingram was amazing, and they got a great offensive line.
No, he was wasn't he a good dual threat back?
No,
He's not going to generate huge running
a lot of
rushing
games.
numbers.
Ingram started a lot of games last year and got a lot of carries.
All right, I don't think they're better than last year. I think they're worse. And I think they were 9 and 7 last year.
The problem is their defense. That's the problem. He had 964 yards last year and 200.
I think they lost their best overall player. How do you?
You think Graham
How do you
is
not
better
get
than
worse
Breeze?
when you lose your best overall player? Yes, I do.
You're wrong.
Okay,
Breeze,
whatever.
You would
It's the best
rather
tight end
have
in the league.
Jimmy Graham on your team than Drew Brees.
Yeah.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'd rather have Russell Wilson and Jimmy Graham than Drew Brees and fucking
That's not the
Marquise
question.
Colston.
That's not the question.
French fucker.
If you had a first pick of a fantasy draft and you could only pick Brees or Graham.
A fantasy draft? I'm obviously going to pick Graham over Brees.
Okay, not
he's much better
factoring in
in his
age.
position.
It's a season. A fantasy draft for one season.
Fantasy draft for one season? Graham.
That's insane. That's ridiculous. Brees is so much more valuable than Graham is. Graham, you have to have a good quarterback for him.
Watch Brees' numbers go down the tube. Because you don't realize
Graham
how
wasn't
much
even that
space
good
Jimmy
last
Graham
year.
is.
Graham wasn't even that good. And
whatever, man.
You saying Brees was never good without Graham? That's ridiculous.
No, I never said that. I said that Jimmy Graham was the best part of that offense last year, at least. Drew Brees.
No, he wasn't.
Good
He was terrible last year. Ingram, I'd say, was their best player last year.
Whatever.
Graham wasn't that good. He only had like 800 or 700
Make
yards.
yourself believe whatever you want.
What made you? How many yards did Graham have last year?
I don't know. I'm not a fucking almanac.
I'm checking right now.
Encyclopedia.
He had 889 yards.
I'm not a fucking thesaurus, man.
They can live without 889 yards.
Alright, whatever. You just don't realize all this face that he makes.
Well, I just don't know what this love obsession with Jimmy Graham is.
Because I think he's the fucking best tight end in the league.
Better than Gronkowski?
I think he's better than Gronkowski.
Oh my god, you're crazy. You're a crazy person. Gronk is a freak of nature.
And Jimmy Graham isn't a freak of nature?
No, he's a great receiver who happens to line up as a tight end.
Just shut your mouth before you look any more dumb.
Let me ask you this. If Jimmy Graham were just a receiver, would you be in shock by his stats and think he's one of the best receivers in the league?
No, but I wouldn't for Gronk either.
You wouldn't?
Didn't Jimmy Graham have like 1,600 yards like 2 years ago?
No, he had 1,300.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Fucking take that wide receiver.
1,200. You take it, but it's not anything.
Has Gronk had that many yards?
Gronk had 1,100 last year in 10 games started.
So Graham still has more yards.
Last year? No.
No, I mean... okay, whatever. Just move on.
In their careers, they have about equal yards. But Gronk has played in 13 less games, and they have almost the exact same amount of yardage. And Gronk has...
But Gronk...
more touchdowns.
Whatever.
What do you mean? What were you going to say? Say it. I like this argument.
I was about to say that Gronk was the only weapon... receiving weapon in that offense, really.
What, you saying Marcus Colston? Marcus Colston is all of a sudden some unbelievable receiver?
No, but he's had 1,000 yards a couple of years, 1,100, 1,200 yards.
So is fucking Edelman and Welker and shit.
Welker's on the Patriots in like 4 years.
It was been like 3 years, and he was there for a couple Gronk years.
Okay, whatever. Just move on.
And here's the
we
thing,
have other stuff to talk about.
Jimmy Graham cannot block for shit. That's why you got to think of him as a receiver.
No, yeah, you win. Whatever.
He literally lines up.
Yeah, whatever. Just move on. Move on. I don't want to discuss this anymore.
Because you fucking getting destroyed.
Because it's a waste of our time. We have so much other stuff to.
But we're supposed to be arguing. We finally find something we disagree on. Who gives a fuck if we argue? All right. Let's agree about how shit the Panthers are.
I have to make dinner.
All right, let's agree how shitty the Panthers are.
I'm sad because the team was so good a couple of years ago.
They lost Calvin Benjamin. They lost Greg Hardy, who didn't even play much.
They didn't lose him. They got rid of him.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah. They lost.
Yeah, for fucking raping a child or something.
I don't think he raped a child.
I don't know. It's domestic abuse, whatever that means.
Raped a child. Yeah, the Panthers are awful. I have 4-20.
I thought 7-9, which is a win above the Saints.
Do you have them winning the division again with a horrible record?
No, I have the Falcons winning it at 7-9.
I have the Falcons at 8-8.
Winning the division?
No,
I have all the entire
Saints
division under 500.
I have Saints at 9-7, and then Falcons.
Oh yeah, I forgot about you. You're high on the Saints. Yeah, I have the Falcons 7-9, the Panthers 7-9, the Saints 6-10, and the Bucks 5-11.
Great division. Do you think that division in like 2 years is gonna break out the way the NFC West did? Remember the West was horrible, and then it just broke out a couple years later, and a bunch of good teams.
Well, I mean, the AFC South's been pretty bad for a while.
You're right. But they've had the Colts.
Like for the past 7 years. I mean, the Texans had like a couple of good years. Besides the Colts,
right?
Like all those teams have just laid in their misery for a while.
All right. So the NFC West. Let's talk about them then. I think they're not as good as they once were, but it's still a good division.
Well, the 49ers, obviously. I mean, they're a horrible team, so of course they're not going to be as good.
Yeah. I have the Seahawks winning it at 12-4.
I have the Seahawks winning it at 11-5.
Yeah. They lost a lot of players on defense.
I like Jimmy Graham on the team.
But they lost Max Unger. It's not...
Matt Dunger.
I think you really also underrate offensive line and how important those are to a...
Yeah, but an offensive line is more of like an entire unit. I think a single tight end can bring more to an offense and an offensive line than a center, honestly.
I'll agree that it was a good trade in the sense that Russell Wilson needed a target. But I don't think...
who did they have? Percy Harden?
No, they didn't. They got rid of him in like...
I know. That was just it was a joke.
Oh, they had fucking Curse and Baldwin and shit. It wasn't good. So, yeah, I have 12-4. I mean, they'll be good. Their defense will be awesome. Pretty standard.
Bad.
What?
Oh.
Your mic's cutting out.
I said, how bad...
Your mic's cutting out a lot.
Referring to... I said, how bad do you have to be to lose to Doug Ball? Referring to your fucking back.
Alright, fuck you. Also, your mic's cutting out a lot. Try, like, doing something. I don't know.
Alright, I think it's your fault. But anyway.
Alright.
Cardinals. We talked about.
Cardinals?
Cardinals? I have them at 11-5 as well.
I have 10-6. I think Palmer's good. I think their defense lost Cromartie. They also lost Ted Bowles, who I think is an awesome defensive coach. I don't know. I think Palmer's good though, so they'll pull out 10-6. And the 49ers. Okay. How about the Niners? They had a pretty disastrous.
I have them 2-14.
Jesus, I had 5-11 at least.
I'm going to amend that. I'm going to say bold prediction 1-15 for the 49ers.
Jesus Christ. They still got Kaepernick and, well,
1-15.
Carlos Hyde.
1-15.
All right. And the Rams?
The Rams, I'm going to put them at... I think they're always been just, like, right under the cusp. I'm saying 8-8.
They're
Like a consistently under the cusp team, I feel.
I have 9-7. They decided last year, of course, with Robert Quinn and Aaron Donald and.
Oh, Aaron Donald, I like him.
He's really good, and they had
He
someone
went to
else
Pitt.
Too. They decided,
I saw him play.
Despite having 4 very good defensive linemen, pass rushers, that the main free agent they had to go get this offseason was another defensive lineman pass rusher, Nick Fairley.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous. I think they're just
could be
all
ridiculous
on that
to
defense.
watch.
I don't know how that's going to work for them, though. It hasn't
Me neither.
up to this point, so
it could be
maybe
scary.
they could fucking come out and go 15-1, 14-2.
They could fucking put fear into quarterbacks and get 5 sacks a game.
You see the bully that Rex Ryan wants to build in Buffalo. It's already been built in St. Louis. But
So
I don't know how successful the model will be. But
let's move
on.
on.
They have no offense at all.
Let's move on to the playoffs then. What are your
Playoffs?
Playoffs. What do you have your seeds looking like?
Well, let's see. I have the Packers 13-3, so they're my 1.
Mm-hmm.
I have Seahawks my 2.
Mm-hmm.
I have Cowboys my 3.
Okay.
I have the Cowboys are 9-7 and the 3. I have the Falcons 4 at 7-9.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Cardinals at 5.
Right.
Playoff at 6.
You might cut out after 5.
I said Packers, Seahawks, Falcons.
Really bad.
Cardinals. What?
Just tell me your 6.
The Vikings.
Vikings, okay. I have Seahawks 1, Packers 2, Eagles 3, Saints 4, Cardinals 5, and Vikings 6.
We have the same wild card.
Right. And our division, we have two different division winners. So you don't think the Eagles make the playoffs?
No. I think they're 9-7, but I think the tiebreaker will go to the Vikings because I just want it to.
So wild card round.
All right, Cowboys versus Vikings. I'm picking the Vikings.
Wow. Okay.
And Falcons versus Cardinals. I'm picking the Cardinals.
Wow, both wild card teams win.
Yep.
I think
both. They have better records than both those teams, though. So.
I have the Eagles beating the Vikings and the Cardinals beating the Saints.
Okay, so now I have Cardinals, Seahawks.
Right. I have that too.
And Packers versus Vikings, which is 2 division matchups in the divisional.
Right. That makes sense.
I'm going to have the Packers beating the Vikings.
Right.
I'm going to have the Cardinals beating the Seahawks.
All right. I have Seahawks beating the Cardinals and Packers beating the Eagles.
So you're going to have the same championship game as last year. I didn't want to do that again because I had the same one in the AFC. So I had Broncos. No, I had Pats. Pats, yeah.
Right. So what? Who do you got winning? Who's going to the Super Bowl against the Colts?
Cardinals or Packers? I'm going to say the Packers.
Wow. So you got my favorite team against your favorite team in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That would be an unbearable 2 weeks.
Well, me and Austin would gang up on you. So.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, I don't have the Packers winning. I think the Seahawks are better. I would have picked them if we still had Jordy, but I think the Seahawks are better. So
hey, he might be back for the playoffs at that point.
He can't come back in fucking 5 months? No.
It'd be, 5-6 months.
Yeah, well, that's not happening. Seahawks against Broncos for my...
repeat of not last year, but the year before.
Yes. And it's going to go
the Broncos will redeem themselves?
in my thing. It won't be a blowout, but Seahawks will win in my Super Bowl prediction.
So it's not going to be like 43-10 or whatever?
No.
Or 9 or what the score was?
Right, no.
I think Packers Colts. Like I said, I'll keep up the trend. I think the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl.
And then next year, your Colts?
Yeah, hopefully.
I do like this prediction. I like it.
What,
happy.
mine?
Yes. I would
Well,
be very
again, I
happy.
wouldn't be upset if the Packers and the Colts win the Super Bowl either way. Of course, I'd be more upset if the Packers win, but I'd be like, "Ha, I told you so at the beginning of the year." It's on the podcast.
That's a
right.
real, yeah. That's gonna be something you can really
ease the pain a bit.
You can put it on your resume, I think.
My resume.
Yeah.
What am I, French?
What?
Like a curriculum vitae, you know, CV.
Don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Anyway, do you want to move to MVP?
Sure.
It's been like an hour and a half, but
No, it's.
I'm gonna say, given that the Colts are 14-2, I think luck should definitely be favored for that.
I think he's probably favored, but I got Peyton.
Peyton. I think luck. Defensive player of the year. Watt.
Me too. Watt.
Offensive rookie of the year. I'm gonna say Cooper.
Me too. Cooper.
That's good. You're high on him. You told me to pick him up.
I like Cooper.
I think he's gonna put up good offense.
I think it's someone who can target down the field, so he's gonna target down the field a lot because Carr has no one else to target down the field. So there you go. A lot of screen passes last year. Defensive player of the year, defensive rookie of the year.
Defensive rookie of the year?
Yeah.
I hate those predictions because you can never really know.
Yeah, that's hard.
Is Clowney still considered a rookie?
No.
Okay, who did the Jaguars pick? They took that defensive end, like, second?
He tore his ACL, though, in...
Fowler? Dante Fowler?
Yeah, he tore his ACL, though, in camp.
I'm not. You make the prediction. I didn't prepare for this one. So I don't know.
Leonard Williams for the Jets, who they picked.
Leonard?
Yeah, he fell a couple picks.
Oh, yeah.
Ended up going 6th or 5th to the Jets, and I like him a lot. Great defensive lineman.
And coach of the year, I'm going to say, even though they didn't make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, given this, I think the Vikings coach should.
I have the Vikings coach as well, Mike Zimmer.
But I'm going to say, out of my love, Rex Ryan. But yeah, looking at my predicted standings, I think Mike Zimmer should win.
I have Mike Zimmer. Do you want to end it here, or do you want to keep going?
We can keep going.
Do you want to skip the gambling stuff and just go to baseball?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
All right. Let's talk about some division races here. All right. Baseball. So this has been a fun baseball season so far.
Yeah, it's the first baseball season I've really not felt apathetic towards in like 7 years.
I think what makes it so fun for both of us is both of our teams are not out of it at this point, which is a rarity.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened.
No.
And both our teams have never made the playoffs at the same time. Ever? Have they ever made the playoffs at the same time?
Maybe ever. We've only made it a few times. We might have made it that 86.
We didn't make the playoffs at all, like, until the late 90s, I remember.
Well, no,
we did it 86, 87, and then I think maybe 88, and then we just stopped, and the Braves made it every year until like 90, like 8.
We might have made it 86. Let me check. Fuck.
Okay, speaking of which, these teams are the Jays and the Mets. I don't think we mentioned that. It's pretty important.
Yeah. Those are our teams, and
I'm a Mets fan, Jays fan.
I love the Jays. Let's see here. What years did we make the playoff? Obviously 92 and 93. Also 89 and 85. And 91.
We made it one?
85, 89, 91, 92, 93.
That's just the Mets made in 85. Because that probably would be the only year we made the playoffs at the same time.
You didn't make it 81 or 91? 89 or...
I don't believe so. I think the Mets were pretty bad at the time period. How do I find this out? Shit.
I got it. 69, 73, 86, 88, 2006. So no. Both of our teams have never made the playoffs in the same
At the
season.
same time.
Yeah, we've both only made it 5 times in our history, which is very sad.
Mets only made the playoffs 5 times?
5
No,
times.
6.
Oh, you're
7.
right. I missed
7.
those 2. I missed those wild card berths.
Yeah, 2006.
2099. Yeah,
88,
2099 I missed.
88, 86, 73, and 69.
Was 2000 the year you guys made the World Series?
Yeah, we lost the Yankees.
It's old Subway Series.
Yeah, the only one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess predictions?
Yeah, we'll predict. We'll talk about the race a little bit. Let's start with... Where is it? We'll start with the Jays and Yankees.
All right. The Jays definitely have more talent on their team, I would say.
I agree, but that Yankees rotation scares me. The Yankees have better starting pitching. They got.
Yeah, I agree with that. The Jays team offensively is pretty crazy.
The Jays have 700 and something runs, 720 runs or something. The only other team with 600 runs is the Yankees. So
I think you guys are probably gonna win the division.
I hope so. I don't want to make predictions on this because I just know they're gonna play this tape in hell when the fucking Jays collapse.
Yeah,
fuck up again.
that'd be hilarious.
Win it. So I'm not gonna make a prediction on this, but I'm just very excited to watch it unfold.
So yeah, Jays will predict for the AL East.
Okay.
That race.
Yeah.
Dodgers versus Giants. Good
Dodgers
old rivalry, the second biggest rivalry in the game. Wasn't for the Yankees Red Sox, you know.
Move closer to your mic.
I said if it wasn't for the Yankees Red Sox, this would be the biggest rivalry in the game.
Absolutely, and it's probably the biggest rivalry in the game right now, just in terms of the fact that they're both
the Yankees and the Red Sox aren't at the same level right now. So.
Right, exactly.
But I think I'm going to keep up the trend with the Giants, where they just miss the playoffs and win the World Series.
Okay.
This has happened every year since 2009. 2009, they missed the playoffs. 2010, they won the World Series. 2011, they missed the playoffs. 2012, they won the World Series. 2013, they missed the playoffs. 2014,
in the World Series.
I'm going to say they did not make the playoffs this year.
I'll take the Dodgers, too, because I just think they're too good to fuck up their pitching's way too good. They only have
a 2-game lead.
I thought it was 3.5.
3.5 now? Wow.
I think so. The Giants have lost a couple, and although the Dodgers have been no-hit twice in 9 days.
That's pretty bad.
But they've actually won, before that game last night, they'd won like 5 in a row. So I'm sure they can't be that upset.
All right, Cards Pirates?
Cards Pirates.
I think Cards are going to win that race without question.
It's only 4.5 games at this point.
But, yeah, I know, but I don't really believe. I just believe the Cardinals are too good of a team.
Yeah, the Cardinals. It doesn't matter what their roster is. You know they're going to do well.
They're the best pitching in the league in terms of stats.
Yeah. In terms of ERA, I think they do. But there's no one. They don't even have Wainwright. They lost their ace, and they're still the best team in the league. Yeah,
I don't know how they do it. I fucking hate their guts. You know, least favorite team in sports, but
I love the Cardinals. I'm a big
fan.
It
somehow. I respect them, I guess, like the Patriots, but I still dislike them.
Right. Yeah, I got the Giants. What about Astros Rangers?
Astros.
So far we're just picking the division leaders right now.
Well, they're up by fairly substantial margins.
I think
the Astros are up by 4 or 5 games, right?
I thought it was only 3.
Is it down to 3?
It might be, yeah.
Well, I mean,
I like the moves they made at the deadline.
Team has a 4-game lead, you know.
But the Rangers got Cole Hamels too. I forgot. Oh, that's a tough. I'm gonna pick the Rangers just to be different. I think the Rangers are gonna come. Prince Fielder is gonna fucking lead the team to greatness. Let's do it. Let's pick the Rangers.
Whatever. Nationals. I'm not gonna comment on this. So you didn't comment on the Jays.
All right. I think if the Nats catch them, it will be because the Nats dominate. I don't see the Mets collapsing. because I just think
Speaking of the devil, when was the last time they haven't collapsed?
I just feel like they have 5 pitchers who you can throw it at any night and who are going to put up good performances. So you have those streak snappers. You have a good pitching rotation is the best way to avoid lulls. And they have a good rotation. So I'm going to pick the Mets, but I could
It's
also
probably
see
the best rotation in the league.
You think it's the best rotation in the league?
Yeah.
I still like the Dodgers rotation. I think the Mets is up there, but
I
I don't think
traded
Cologne's
another
very
like
good.
really good young pitcher to get Cespedes.
Yeah, you should
Another
move
prospect.
closer to your phone.
I said I love how we traded another really top prospect
Yeah.
to get Cespedes.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me.
It is funny.
How many fucking prospects they have. They like breed them.
Yeah. I don't think Cologne's very good is my only problem with their rotation. But you know what?
Cologne will show you wrong any given day.
All right then. I think that about does it. And the wild card races.
Dude,
what are you
that guy-
thinking?
Such an athlete. He's an athlete's body. You know what bothers me? Did I tell you about the fucking international, the gaming tournament?
No.
Remember that game I showed you that one time? We played a couple of games and you really didn't like it. The one you play like the helicopter dude, then you played the guy with the axe or whatever.
Yeah,
we played on Steam.
Yeah, I think so.
This was like several months ago, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Like, they just had the big tournament. They run by a major system, so they have 4 majors a year, major tournaments, and then they have the huge tournament in August or whatever.
Right.
You know what the fucking prize pool was?
What?
$18 million for a video game.
A fucking video game, and it's just
and the winning team got $7 million. But
just a bunch
so they each got millions of dollars. What?
Isn't it just a bunch of fucking Asians too?
No, the American team won. They beat the Chinese team.
Oh really?
The Americans won.
It is good.
Evil
this podcast
geniuses.
though is very pro Asian though. You know.
What?
This podcast is very pro Asian.
Now I'm telling these son of a bitches that we respect the Japanese of this country.
We do.
Pardon my French.
We
There's
do.
actually no Japanese. It's all Chinese. But yes, good.
But they make good porn. Crazy
Which
porn.
ones? The Chinese or the Japanese?
The Japanese. Fucking tentacles.
Yeah, tentacles.
Vomit and shit.
Vomit? Yeah, but so do you think that should be classified as a sport? They showed it on ESPN.
I
don't
no,
know.
it's not a sport. But I don't
They're
care.
sponsored by organizations, they're teams of people, and they make lots of money winning these prizes. So it's just games, I guess you would say.
Yeah, it's games. I think that argument's dumb though. People get so angry over calling shit sport or a game. It's like, who gives a fuck if you like watching it? You know.
It's fun to watch. I watch like every game.
Yeah.
They're fun to watch. Huh?
Who gives a shit the fuck you call it? I don't care. I love watching poker. I don't think it's a fucking sport.
I think it's a sport.
I don't.
It takes a lot of skill.
But skill isn't, to me, sport, there has to be athletic ability, but who cares?
It has to be athletic. I don't know.
That's just
Looking
what I
for
think of when I
Cologne.
hear sport. When I hear
Is he
sport,
a fucking athlete? No, he's a fat ass.
Who?
He's not athletic at all. Cologne.
Yeah.
He's not like an athlete. He's not like a you put him on like a Greek pedestal, you know? Admire his body.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters, though, what you call it at the end of the day.
Aren't you angry you didn't take up playing video games for a living? You could have won just $7 million if you devoted your whole life to it.
I don't know if you remember, though, I was always very bad at video games, and I probably played more than any of you guys, and I was always the worst still.
I played a lot of this game, though, and I still kind of sucked.
Like, I remember any time we'd play fucking...
Call
I
of
was
Duty.
the worst Call of Duty player there's ever been. I was.
Yeah.
I remember my kill death was like 0.2 or something. I was horrible.
I do remember that. I was laughing at it. Mine wasn't very good either. It was like 0.8.
But I would always. I also enjoyed like seeing how many times I could kill myself in a round and shit. So.
Yeah. I played that game for about 2,000 hours past year.
What?
The game Dota, the one that just had the huge tournament.
Right. That's a lot of hours. How many days is that? Like
2,000 hours over a year. That's 10 hours a day is 3,500 hours, pretty much 3,650. So it's like 8 hours a day, probably 7 hours a day. 7
for a whole year.
Yeah.
That's
Average.
crazy. What? 7 or 8 hours a day?
Yeah, 6 to 7 hours a day, I think.
And you're not the best person in the world at this.
No, I'm I'm above average. I'm like 70th percentile.
Do you realize if you like just fucking decided to study poker or something, you'd be much
For
further?
2,000 hours? Well, I think 2,000 hours doing like, if you played chess for 2,000 hours or something, you wouldn't be a top player, but you'd be pretty good.
Right. So why wouldn't you do something? I would do poker. You can make a lot of money playing online poker. Instead, you decide
But
to
isn't
play
poker a lot about bluffing though? Isn't it like the game? The point of poker is to like psych you're out your opponent with your bets.
Yeah, but there's a lot of math
Gestures.
to it too. Like there's a lot of if there's a draw on the board, you need to calculate the
I learned
odds.
how to count cards.
Yeah, you could do that, but that wouldn't
took me a
help.
couple of hours.
That wouldn't really help too much because it's a new deck and shit every time. Cold deck. But yeah, I don't think counting cards would help in poker, but there's a lot of shit you can do to calculate odds and shit. I think if you spent 2,000 hours learning poker, you could make a lot of money a year playing poker.
Do you think if you're really good at poker, like one of the best players, do your odds go above like 50% or whatever if you're playing like whatever in a casino?
Yeah, totally. Because at the casino, there's just a lot of retarded rich people who come and want to throw money away. The key, like, there are strategies to poker where you can make a lot of money. It's absolutely more than 50%.
Might move to Vegas and do that.
The pro players make like millions.
Is there like books on it?
Oh yeah. The online shit. I've read just basic shit, and I play online and shit, but I make like fucking $10 per 100 hands or something. You're a lot smarter than me. I bet you can make a lot if you spent a lot of time researching that shit.
I was wanting to learn how to count cards because of that, but I might pick up poker instead. Well, I did learn how to count cards, but
yeah, I do poker.
They use
Poker's
multiple
fun,
decks.
too.
You said, right?
Poker's really fun.
That doesn't work.
Poker's really fun, but yeah. All right, let's move on with baseball here.
Talked about baseball. Oh, the MVP.
Yeah, I don't care about
I guess the National League is Trout and Donaldson, you know? I mean, the American League, sorry.
Yeah, it's between Trout and Donaldson. I have Donaldson.
Well, because you're a Jays fanboy. I'm going to say Trout repeats. But right now, I would give it to Donaldson. But I think Trout might have a good month to lead the Angels to the playoffs or something.
So you think he'll do better the rest of the way? You don't think? If the season ended today, who would you give it to?
Yeah, I'd give it to Donaldson.
Okay, that's fair. And the NL?
The NL, I think I picked Kershaw at the beginning of the year, didn't I?
Maybe, yeah.
I'm trying to think. Who would you give it to in the NL?
I have Bryce Harper.
Really? They're not going to make the playoffs.
I don't care, and they might. Don't you just jinxed your team? Holy fuck! You
That's true.
Totally jinxed the Mets. But he's got.
That's true.
Bryce Harper has the best WAR in the league. He's hitting.
I said if they're not going to make the playoffs. Dun, dun, dun.
His weighted runs created is by far. He's got 194. The average is 100. And the next closest is 174, and he's at 194. Bryce Harper's having a monster.
Do you think Kershaw could win?
Maybe. I think Greinke probably has a better shot than Kershaw at this point. But I would pick Kershaw.
I think I picked Kershaw and King Felix. This is my two MVP.
King Felix
is not
having a great year.
Huh?
King Felix isn't having a great year.
Yeah, I know he isn't. I picked them as my MVPs at the beginning of the season.
So...
Damn.
Yeah. So, who you got?
I guess Greinke. I'm looking at Kershaw's numbers. He has a fantastic ERA. It's just his win-loss is not great.
But people don't care about win-loss anymore. It's that's the thing. It's Felix Hernandez won a couple years ago with a 12-12 record.
Ray,
Do you remember that?
the strikeouts.
Felix was 12-12 and he won.
Yeah, but 7.
Your mic cut out.
A ridiculous ERA, like 1.7 or something.
It was good. I don't think it was 1.7. I think it was in the 2s.
I think it was 1.7 anyway.
Felix Hernandez. But yeah, Greinke this year's ERA is like 1.61 right now.
He had a crazy low ERA after that scoreless streak or whatever.
Right.
Didn't allow a run for like 30-something innings.
That was crazy. And then he gave up like 5 runs in the first to the Phillies one day, which was fucking weird. But
yeah, the Phillies.
So for me though, I got Bryce Harper for the.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Greinke.
Greinke, and I assume you have him for Cy Young as well.
Yep.
Well, here is where I disagree. I'm not a big Greinke supporter this year.
What are you, a DeGrom fan?
Nope. Kershaw.
Oh, really?
I'm loving Kershaw. When you look at the peripherals, yes, Greinke's ERA is amazing, but when you look at the things beyond that, which kind of predict ERA, like
strikeouts and whip or something?
Well, no, FIP and XFIP, which is fielding independent pitching.
Just
and
don't. I don't want to hear this.
Expected fielding independent pitching.
Right.
So this doesn't take into account any defense. This is just home runs, walks, all that shit that a pitcher can control on their own weight. And XFIP then normalizes it for home runs over fly balls so that it's league average. So it makes sure that your home run to fly ball percentage is league average. And when you look at Greinke's peripherals, he is getting so lucky this year to have the ERA he is. He has the lowest home run to fly ball percentage in the league at 6.4%, which is completely unsustainable. He has the highest left on base percentage at 86%, also completely unsustainable. And he's got the lowest batting average on balls in play, which is mostly considered a luck stat, which should balance out, so also completely unsustainable. And because of that, despite his 1.61 ERA, he has a 3.62 FIP and a 3.16 expected FIP. Whereas you look at Kershaw with his 2.24 ERA, he has a 2.10 FIP and a 2.09 expected FIP. And because of that, Kershaw's WAR, wins above replacement, is actually 1.5 points higher than Greinke. Kershaw's at 6.6, Greinke's at 5.1. So to me, Greinke is just. I think there was a time where we looked at wins for the Cy Young. I think that time has passed. Now people are always go with ERA, but I think we need to move to a time where we look at FIP and XFIP as well as ERA. But I think the numbers just show that Greinke's gotten so lucky to have the numbers he does this year.
So what were you saying? I'm taking a little nap there. I'm sure our audience really enjoyed that the time to relax and just close their eyes for a bit.
It's
like I did.
These are going to be basic.
Okay. I thought I was the one who was supposed to ramble on about fucking like psycholinguistics or neuropsychopharm.
I'm telling you, give it 5 years. These are going to be basic stats that are shown everywhere in the league. These are not even new stats. These are like 4 or 5-year-old stats. The same way OBP 15 years ago was like considered like, what the fuck is this? This is crazy nerd speak. That's going to be what FIP is going to be, just OBP in 5 years.
Okay, Oral Hershiser.
What the fuck is that?
Okay.
Who's Oral Hershiser? Alright, ignore me, bitch. What else we got? I think that's it.
I answered Buckhead.
Your mic's cutting out a lot.
Oh.
I think we're good, though. I can't hear
Can you hear
anything
me?
you're saying. Oh, now I hear you.
I do.
Kind of hear
I
you.
told you who Earl.
Who I don't
I
really
said
care.
I told you who Earl Horshadze was. You stood.
I don't care.
All right, whatever. Bye.
That is our ending to the podcast, folks. Fuck that dirty Jew kike. Caleb, I'm out.